Hello everyone, this is Sodhi from CAAN Wings Consultants Private Limited. I welcome you to this very exciting episode of my YouTube session. As we were all aware that South Australia would be expanding its occupation list for offshore applicants and inviting further 259 occupations for lodging their nominations for a 491 or a 190 nomination. So this morning we've seen a very exciting change in the occupation list. We've seen a lot of occupations being now available for nomination by South Australia. Many of these occupations were long awaited, such as private tutors, university lecturers, vocational education teachers, restaurant or hotel managers, engineers, IT professionals, and many more professions. In fact, there are some occupations listed here wherein the occupations are so interesting that people who had positive assessments for these occupations were almost disillusioned earlier. When I did my video last, I got a lot of questions in the comment box from private tutors or university lecturers, and lots of comments from private tutors. In fact, they have been thinking that probably their occupation is not so much in demand in Australia, and there is probably less likelihood of their occupation being available for nomination. So there you go, your occupation is now available in South Australia for nominations. With this, I'd also like to tell you that the earlier phase of nomination, the ROIs that we had lodged earlier, we've started to get nomination approvals, that is invitations to apply for visas. In fact, the first application has been approved today itself. I had submitted one application yesterday. I think it was around 4:30, 5 o'clock in the evening when I submitted the application and paid the South Australia application fee of 336 Australian dollars. And at 8 a.m. today morning, we got the nomination approval for 491 as well as an invitation to apply for a visa. So you can see that in less than 24 hours, South Australia had approved the nomination and issued an invitation to apply for a visa for the application that had been earlier invited for applying for a nomination and the application that was submitted by us. So now the interesting thing is that though a lot of you might think that Australia has probably set up a very stringent criteria asking for 8 years or 5 years of work experience and probably even higher English proficiency in some cases, such as overall superior or let's say proficient plus. But there are many occupations interestingly listed by South Australia which require just competent level English, that is 6 bands in each section in the IELTS test or 50 each in the PTE. Examples of such occupations are photographers, fashion designers, web designers, telecommunications engineers, network engineers, graphic designers, cooks, bakers, pastry cooks, motor mechanics, hairdressers, and so on. So you can see that there's some trade occupations and many professional occupations as well that only need competent level English, that do not require the applicant to have a higher English proficiency. With that, I'd also like to just quickly, kind of recap the scenario as far as the nominations opened are concerned. So while the list is very exhaustive, it is, I would say everybody would be very happy to see the list. A majority of the occupations listed require 8 years of work experience, and some occupations require 5 years of work experience. A very few occupations need 2 years of experience as well. And the the English proficiency score ranges from competent, that is 6 bands in each section or 50 each in PTE, to proficient plus, that is overall 7.5, that would be an overall 73 in terms of Pearson test of English academic. And it can even go up to superior level English, that is 8 bands in IELTS or 79 each in PTE. Having said that, I'd like you to understand that these nominations are not going to be on a the nominations are not going to be on a first come first serve basis. In fact, I'd shared in the previous video that the first application that was picked up for the ROIs that we lodged earlier was the one that was lodged last. So the ROIs, the registration of interest that you have to lodge with South Australia has officially opened today. We do not know how long they'll go on receiving these ROIs, but I'm guessing it would be for a while, because in the last intake that opened up the ROI intake in October, and it is still ongoing. Now they've added more occupations. Therefore, if anybody thinks that probably they can improvise on their English proficiency or probably increase their work experience, or somebody who's not even started the process yet would like to initiate, keeping South Australia nomination specifically in mind, you just may be in time to do that. With this, I'd like to end this video. For any queries, please feel free to call us on 78498 78498 or email us on caanwings@gmail.com. That is CAANWINGS @gmail.com, or you can also email on enquiries@caanwings.com. Therefore, I'd like you to just remember, once again, I'd like to repeat here that the South Australia nominations for offshore applicants are on, and we can expect further changes in subsequent intakes. Those whose occupations are yet not listed on the list, such as I think financial institution branch managers are there, retail buyers are there, they have every possibility that in the next intake that could be coming up very soon, they will include these occupations as well. And the criteria, both in terms of the minimum work experience or the overall English proficiency required, could also be subject to change. So until next time, bye-bye and take care.